Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to go over another basic tutorial, and the tutorial is going to be for Cinema 4D 2024 and how to get your character into Mixamo and from Mixamo back into Cinema 4D. But I'm going to keep it basic and we're just getting the process down. So to get started, pretty much all we got to do is highlight our model. We're going to come over here to File and Export. And I like using the FBX format. From there, we're going to find a place to save her, which I believe I already made a folder here. So I'm going to hop on over to the Mixamo side and we'll see you over there. All right, we're back into the tutorial and here in the Mixamo. And on Mixamo, all you got to do is hit Upload Character. We're going to select Character File. And here it is, Tutorial Export 1. We're going to hit Open. Now this is going to take a while to process, so I'm going to go ahead and let it do that, and then I'll be right back to the video. Alright, looks like the processing is finished. So far so good. She looks like she is good to go. So now we're going to hit the next button. And this is the very important steps right here. First thing is you want to make sure use symmetry is on. That way the only thing you have to worry about is one side. And then it automatically mirrors the other side. And then right down here, this drop box. If you're not careful and you don't select the right thing, you could actually do a lot of harm to your animations. So of course, this one's self-explanatory. There is no fingers. So for people that don't have fingers and just have the little nubs, that's what you would use for that type of a model. For the people that have just 2 fingers, you would use this one, and so on and so forth. And 3 fingers, more like aliens and stuff like that. But our model has all 5 fingers, so we're going to go ahead and keep it on the standard. And then we're going to go ahead and mark the chin area. So if you look at the little diagram over there, I try to stay true to that. And it looks like they have the lips showing on theirs. And then I want to go ahead and do my wrist. Let's say right about there. And as you can see, it mirrored it. So I don't have to worry about the other side because we have symmetry on here. And then the elbow. And I'm going to stay right about there. And then we're going to go to the knees. There we go. Leave for D would bend right about here. And then this one's a little tricky. So sometimes this could be a hit or a miss. But look like theirs is up higher in the diagram. So I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to say right about here. And that should be it. That's it. Now you will hit the next button. When I hit the next button, it will start simulating and trying to, get all that geometry together. And as you can see, we have a pretty detailed model, so it might take a while. So once I hit next, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video and I'll be right back when it's done processing. Okay, she is done processing or simulating, and so far so good. Looks like all the geometry is sticking together correctly. Look like she's moving really well. So I'm going to say this was a plus. It came out very well, but you see how simple it was? So now we're just going to hit next one more time. And it's going to add her into the main viewport window in a T-pose. Very important. For the more advanced parts of Mixamo and C4D, it is always good to export out a T-pose. Never forget that. Before you start exporting animations, always do a T-pose as well. Even if you don't ever use the T-pose, it is very smart to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and export this. FBX is just fine. T-pose is just fine. And we're going to hit download. So that went ahead and downloaded. And now, just to be sure, I'm going to put in T for T-pose. And looks like this T-pose comes out a little wider. So just in case, I'm going to save out both of them. So we're going to hit download on this one. Everything looks to be fine at default. So we're going to hit download. So it's probably going to be named the same thing, but computers are smart. It'll probably put a 1 at the end of it. So no worries there. As you can see, yep, there is a 1 there. So now let's give her a quick little animation. I like action animation, so let's do action. See what pops up. I have a bunch going on here. What's a good one? Ooh, that's awesome. A stylish backflip. Let's do that one. So we're going to click on this, and there we go. Look at that. That is awesome. The feet hit the ground really well. So, looks like there's probably a little something there that her hands will hit. But we're not going to worry about all that. Like I said, this is just a basic tutorial. But if you wanted to change anything, just say you wanted her to go a little bit faster because, I don't know, it's just too slow for you. So you'll put the overdrive up. Boom. Look how much faster an explosion they gave her. Or say you wanted it a little slower. Look at that. Ooh, nice. That looks like a matrix effect there, a little bit slow motion. And I actually like slow motion animations. So I'm going to bring it up just a little bit more and leave it at that. And then arm space. While she's holding on to the rope up there, it looks like the hands can be crossed a little bit more. So we'll give her a little bit more arm space and see how that looks. That looks a little bit better to me. Like I said, it's not really for an actual scene. It's just for the process. So we're going to leave it at that. You can trim your animation if you wanted it to be a little bit shorter on the frames. So you would just slide this over. But I want that full animation exactly the way it is. So now we're just going to hit download like we did with the T-pose. Everything here seems to be fine. I did slow it up, so I'm going to keep the 30 frames per second and hit download. Okay, we are now back in Cinema 4D, and this is where we last left Nova in there. So I'm just going to come on over to File, and I'm going to actually hit Merge Project because I love keeping the original in there, even if I just put it on invisible. There it is, stylish backflip. Just going to click on that, and we're going to open it. Usually everything by default is usually okay. So we're going to hit OK. And it's going to process, as you can see in the bottom left. And while that's processing, I'm just going to go ahead and see what happens. All right, so it looks like they put in the camera here. But the original Nova, that is actually on the ground. I'm going to make her invisible. There we go. And ours should be up in the air somewhere that we bought in from Mixamo. And there it is. This camera, for right now, tutorial purposes, I'm going to delete that. And it already looks like we got the animation because she's in the air. Look at that. And we're now in Cinema 4D. So all we will have to do is play through the frames. There we go. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that landing. There we go. From a different angle a little bit. Bam. Really nice. Go out the screen if you want. Look at that. But of course you want to see that landing. She sticks that landing. Look at that. And depending on what view you want, you can do this view. Sometimes I like coming in here and making the bones invisible. And then sometimes I like to go to hidden lines. Yeah. So you can see your topology and all that. You can see where it's bending, where it's stretching. So it's good to actually do some type of a wireframe mode in the display, especially when you're doing animations. Not necessarily if you're doing simple animations like just something going across the screen, or it's not a character, or if it's just an object. But man, look at that. She could be landing in a puddle of water to make some dramatic scenes. And she could be landing anywhere you want, actually. And that's the whole beauty of 3D and Mixamo and animation. It gives a lot of power to animation inside of Cinema 4D. And the workflow and the speed of the previewer is unbelievable in Cinema 4D 2024. The workflow is just so clean and so easy to work with now with the new update. But yeah, that's pretty much the full procedure of taking your character, exporting it out as a FBX. You're bringing it inside of Mixamo. And from Mixamo, you upload your character. You put your points where they need to be as far as your wrist, your chin, your groin, and your elbows, and your knees. And from there, you just put whatever animation you want on it. If it was a successful, simulation as far as getting the character into Mixamo, export your T-poses, and come on back and, you import your FBX. And like I said, I merge mine with the original character just like I have it from scratch there, if I have to make any references to the original character. And that's about it. That is how you get your character over to Mixamo and back over to Cinema 4D. And these are just the basics. I believe I will do another tutorial one day of a little bit more advanced settings for the animations, and that's merging more than one animation together. Be on the lookout for part 2 to this tutorial where Brandon's going to go over shaders in Redshift, as well as converting the shaders and lighting the scene. So that's going to be an exciting part 2 to this tutorial. Please, if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down there, give us a thumbs up, and follow us, And until next time.